morning, everybody. It's your boy Raven, and I have a couple of announcements. Number one, due to recent events, I kind of decided that maybe it wasn't safe to just put all the eggs in one basket. Now, I've already got a little bit of a head start on that by putting the channel also on Clouthub. By the way, if you go to clouthub.com, you look up Raven Wolfgar, you will find the channel. Or you'll find me, and then you can go to my channel from the profile. Clouthub is kind of that all-in-one social media kind of thing, but there is that. Also, as of yesterday, I started a BitChute and Rumble channel. I've pared down the description a little bit, so now, if you want to see my Amazon wish list, if you want to see my Etsy favorites, if you want to see the, if you want to get tea from the very same place that I'm drinking tea from, or you want to get, you want to get gemstones in the raw, inexpensively, without paying super high prices, you can go to Mining Gems. Those 5 links will be up on the banner of my YouTube channel. You can go and just click there. So, I will also be on BitChute pretty much permanently. All the same videos that I'm doing right here on YouTube or Clouthub will also be there. And I'll also be promoting those. Let's see what else. I'm also thinking about exploring Odyssey as well. I've heard good things about it. I heard it's kind of set up like YouTube, so I don't know, because I know that I can do private videos for you here. So that's one thing. I'm still digging into all these platforms, people. Wow, it's going to take a lot of time. Now today there's a brand new deck that's going to be on board, and it's going to be this bad boy right here, Tarot of the Divine. I love this deck. This was a gift. This was one of the gifts I got, by the way. It's very, very beautiful. But it says this on the back of the box, and I really wanted to read this to you because I'll be going back to Wednesday night, and I'll tell you exactly why I did Wednesday night. The path to enlightenment is unique for each of us, but many of the lessons we learn are shared stories passed among cultures and generations. Tarot of the Divine brings traditional tarot archetypes to life with a lustrous series of fables, including The Little Mermaid, Aladdin, the Crane Wife, Sleeping Beauty, King Arthur, and the stories of many lesser-known legends and deities from all over the world. Just as tarot provides ways to interpret the world around us, so too do these illuminating folk tales. I recently revealed that I'm a big fan of folklore and, you know, those fairy tales still to this day, just not the stuff Disney produces. In fact, it's one of the many reasons I really do not like Disney. But I did read from this book on my live stream, A Treasury of Best Loved Fairy Tales, and I read The King Who Would Be Stronger Than Fate. $8, people. Get you a big old over 100 fairy tales, 100 short stories, let's put it that way. Razor Fist on the Rageaholic channel just did an entire video, a very long one, but a very good one, on why we should reject modernity in comic books and seek out the old pulp, which is in the public domain now, much like these fairy tales. And guess what? As he says, if you've ever read a short story, you've read pulp. But there's a reason I love fairy tales. Fairy tales keep us in touch with that childlike part of us. And that's why I'm debuting that deck today. But I want to read you something. Something that I just came across in Michael Enda's book. One of my favorite modern fairy tales, The Never-Ending Story. And this is the scene where Atreyu meets Gamork, the werewolf. Pardon me. A little tickle at the back of my throat there. Okay. So, they're having a conversation, and Gamork mentions that, see what it was that he mentions. delusions in the minds of men, in the minds of human beings. He said, fears where there's nothing to fear, desires for vain, hurtful things, despairing thoughts where there is no reason to despair. Fast forward a little bit, and Gamork went on. This is why humans hate Fantastica and everything that comes from here. They want to destroy it. They multiply the lies. They keep flooding the human world. For these lies are nothing other than creatures of Fantastica who have ceased to be themselves and survive only as living corpses, poisoning the souls of men with their fetid smell. But humans don't know it. Isn't that a good joke? And there's no one left in the human world, Atreyu asked in a whisper, who doesn't hate and fear us? I know of none, said Gamork, and it's not surprising, because you yourselves, once you're there, can't help but working to make humans believe that Fantastica doesn't exist. Doesn't exist? The bewildered Atreyu repeated. That's right, Sonny, said Gamork. In fact, that's the heart of the matter, don't you see? If humans believe Fantastica doesn't exist, they won't get the idea of visiting your country. And as long as they don't know you creatures of Fantastica as you really are, the manipulators do what they like with them. What can they do? Whatever they please. When it comes to controlling human beings, there is no better instrument than lies, because you see, humans live by beliefs, and beliefs can be manipulated. The power to manipulate beliefs is the only thing that counts. That's why I sided with the powerful and served them, because I wanted to share their power. I want no part in it, Atreyu cried out. Take it easy, you little fool, the werewolf growled. When your turn comes to jump into the nothing, you too will be a nameless servant of power, with no will of your own. Who knows what use they will make of you? Maybe you'll help them persuade people to buy things they don't need, or hate things they know nothing about, or hold beliefs that make them easy to handle, or doubt the truths that might save them. Yes, you little Fantastica, big things will be done in the human world with your help. Wars started, empires founded. For a time, Gamork peered at the boy out of half-closed eyes, and he added, the human world is full of weak-minded people who think they're as clever as could be, and are as convinced that it's terribly important to persuade even the children Fantastica doesn't exist, and maybe they will be able to make good use of you. And I'll just leave that there. Their entire world is being destroyed in the story because we're being lied to, we're being manipulated, we're being conditioned. Isn't that interesting? That's why it's important to stay in touch with that sense of childlike wonder. And that's why I bring you these cards today. Today, we turn the tide, so let's get down to it. Starting with our guide for today. Isn't this fitting? After I read that passage, Ragnarok. In the never-ending story, Fantastica, or in the movie, as it was called, Fantasia, was experiencing their own Ragnarok. They were experiencing their twilight. The nothing was swallowing them whole, and the childlike empress was dying. And in the Norse story of Ragnarok, everything is coming to its end. Everything is being destroyed. It is a cosmos-destroying event. So how does that pertain to us? Well, I can tell you this much. Some things are going to have to die. Some old, destructive beliefs are going to have to reach their twilight today. So what spirit animal will we be taking with us today? The badger spirit. Be fearless, be bold. Shaping up already. See, when Odin saw that Ragnarok was coming, when he knew that this was it, This is it. This is the inevitable. He went out to face Fenrir without fear. He wouldn't give it to him. Fenrir, also a wolf. Starting to get the picture? So, let's consult with our old folk tales and legends. Let's see what insight they bring us. Maybe there's good news. So we are doing Mind, Body, and Spirit again. Big read Friday. You know how it is. Full scale. We're going to do it with this. And I'm just going to go ahead and lay out the cards right here, just like so. So in the mind, we have these three cards. The body, these three. Spirit, these three. Now, big reveal. Starting in the mind, we have a Page of Swords. Young, brash, idealistic. Check out the artwork. Oh, he's ready. There's an old saying, everybody's gangsta until, right? If you were one of the Roman forces in Teutoburg Forest, everybody's gangsta till the forest starts chanting in Proto-Germanic, right? And if you don't know what that's all about, look that up. That was some trauma there. Got the King of Coins, and we have a Three of Wands. So what we have with this set is, it looks like a lot of mental preparation. A lot of mental preparation to ascend to something. Now exactly what that is, I'm not exactly clear on. What I'm seeing though, in these three cards, we could say that this is sort of like we're mentally preparing ourselves for something great. And that's always a great thing, because when you're mentally prepared and when you've got it firmly in your mind, that can't be manipulated, can it? In the body, Two of Swords. You have a Page of Coins and a Page of Wands. Swords, coins, wands, swords, coins, wands. Two of Swords, not reversed. Two of Swords is always a decision. This is always a tough decision, something that we will have to really consider. And it's one that deserves a lot of thought. But we also have a little bit of opportunity here. That Page of Coins, we're really kind of looking at our physical selves here. We're looking at ourselves through younger eyes, shall we say? Even if you're like in, you know, I'll say 18 to 80 here. And then we got this Page of Wands, which, with all these page cards coming up, all these court cards, these are telling you that you need to, in order to be brave, bold, and fearless, in order to stare down, you know, that tough decision, you need to look at it with younger eyes. Go back to your childhood a little bit. Again, that's why these are still important. That's why these fairy tales, these folk tales and stuff like that, that's why they're important. They're more important now than ever. It's important that you read them to your children, if you have children. If you don't, read them for yourself. And if you don't have, if it doesn't bring you back to memories from way back during your childhood when things were comfortable, create new ones, because it's important. That's where your intuition is. When you're younger, you have that intuition. You're not being beaten down and jaded and told, oh, that doesn't exist. There's no such thing. You know, when my kids, like if I have a child, for example, and my kid says, there's a monster in my closet, first thing I'm going to do is get that kid a toy sword and tell him, he can't take you with that if you have this. Yeah. You don't have to completely feed into it. You just got to plant that little seed. Eventually the kid won't even see the monster. Alternately, you could tell him, no, I know the beings that live in your closet. They're actually looking out for you. You're okay. Anyway, do it with them. Do like little banishing spells or something. Never lose that childlike sense of wonder. It comes in handy. Trust me on this. For the spirit, we have the Fool, a 5 of Cups, and a 4 of Coins. This is where the problem is. This is where you started in your spiritual journey. This is what you gave up. And this is where you're going to end up. Hoarding all that knowledge for yourself because you're afraid to share it with the world. Ladies and gentlemen, we talked about your gifts not being meant to be suppressed for the comfort level of others. I of course added in, damn the comfort level of others. And I still mean it. But who are you to hoard your gifts that are meant to serve the world? Who are you to hoard those epiphanies? Because that's what matters. That's what matters most, sharing them with the world. It doesn't matter if it seems foolish. Sometimes, just sometimes. Have you ever looked at your kid and then suddenly some little piece of wisdom just slips out from the kid? Something you've never considered, something you've never seen, something you've never heard. Keep paying attention to those. Integrate them. That's key. So, we're going to go out into the cosmos a little bit and find out what they have for us today. Starting with a new Earth. It's happening. Keep the vision. You're starting to think about things in a whole new light, aren't you? And if you are, congratulations. If you're looking at your children and realizing maybe they have something to offer. Now, granted, that doesn't mean let them have the entire farm. You know, don't let them loose in the candy store, but, you know, within reason, some of them will have little pearls of wisdom that you can add to that necklace of life experience, right? Here in your body, right there, activated Earth. So this is power places, ley lines. Trust where you're led. Guess what? If you're led to a certain garden in a certain park, it's time to go. Time to go there. Time to get that energy there. Sit there quietly, no distractions, meditate. Now, in the spirit, cracked open. I'd love to tell you that cracked open, the first 2 words out of its text are rock bottom. Surrender to the alchemy of life. Your own transformation has been pretty painful at times. You've had to give up a lot of your own delusions. Let me tell you, when you give up delusion, illusion, and lies, it can be painful. Because then you're like, where do I go? What do I do? Then you find it and you hoard it because you think no one's going to listen to me. Really? Look where you are right now. Maybe many won't listen to you. I know there aren't many listening to me right now, but that doesn't matter, because a few of you will do something with this information. You, watching now, know exactly where you are. You know exactly where it's going, and you know that it's not right because you're feeling vulnerable. And right now, you have to remember that in order for any flower to grow, the seed must crack open. The shell protects what's inside, but it can't grow inside the shell. Sooner or later, it has to abandon that shell. Some of you are looking at your children right now, wondering when they're going to break out of that shell. Some of you are fearing that empty nest syndrome. Let me tell you something. What comes next is amazing, and it's important. And so, we ask for the secrets from the runes today. For your mind, it's Lagus. It's a nice going with the flow sort of a thing. In the body, there's Hagalars. What are you struggling with? I do see it, but remember, he only looks scary. And right here in the spirit, I was. So looking at it, again, we reach a sort of a monument. Some things have to die away so that we can grow, so that we can move forward. And now, the big summary. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Today, you are facing the death of some very, very, very well-ingrained deceptions. And I am seeing that. The old ways of, lying to yourself, you can't do that. Lying to others, you also can't do that. And you also cannot accept lies. You cannot accept illusions. When you see what you see today, you can't deny it. You have to be able to point it out. And point it out to others. Don't worry. Today is the day for being fearless, for being bold. Right now, if you're in your truth right this second, and you've been in it this whole time, and you've held that line, and you've done everything you can, trust that your vision is getting ready to happen. Right here in the mind, get that clear. For here in the body, trust where you're led, and don't worry if it's led into conflict. Because right here, you're about to experience spiritual growth, but you must share what you've learned. It's going to be hard to put into words. You will lose people. Pointed out right here, pointed out over at Ragnarok. Some are going to directly challenge you. Guess what? Doesn't matter. You lose some people, then your soul tribe comes in. fuck with the wolf, get the pack. Understand? So, thank you so much for joining me. This reading has been an absolute pleasure to deliver. I did ask for truth. We got it. Now it's time for you to take yours, bring it out into the world. The one thing you fear only seems big. Just remember, everybody's gangsta till the truth comes out. The illusion's crumbling, ladies and gentlemen. It's going away, whether we like it or not. But we can return to something much better. We can return to a time when our intuition wasn't suppressed, when it was okay to daydream, and it was okay to tell stories to each other. We can go back. You can go back. Perhaps if the world were populated by children, maybe it wouldn't be such a bad place, right? Kind of think about that. Don't you have fond memories of your childhood? I hope so. I do. Because it was in my childhood that I tended to shine the most. And you should too. I love you so much. Take care of yourselves and each other. This weekend, big weekend. And as always, shine on. Oh, by the way, the first 5 people who subscribed and got offended by this particular video will get a free pack of tissues.